Patrick Peterson announced on his podcast that he's returning to the Minnesota Vikings. He signed a 1-year contract worth $4 million, $3.5 million guaranteed, and $1 million in incentives. It's a good deal. You're basically getting away with only paying him about $500,000, and then if he gets the incentives, well, then you have to pay that too. That's just the way things go. But I think it's a very cheap deal. He probably could have gotten a little more on the market, but this is what he decided to come back to. According to a report, DK Metcalf could be on the open market for the right price. What is the right price? I don't know. Maybe a first, 2 firsts, or a first and a second. I definitely think it involves a first. But if I'm any team, do I pay that? Yes. However, how is it going to be constructed? Because I'm Seattle. I think we need to be in the quarterback hunt, because I'm not confident in Geno Smith and Drew Lock. I know we're rebuilding or reloading, whatever the coaches want to say, but we do need a quarterback. It's more of a guessing game at this point. The Jets signed Solomon Holmes. He played with the Las Vegas Raiders last year. Didn't have a great season, but is familiar with head coach Robert Saleh. Okay, I guess it is the way it is. It's one of those things where if you know people in high places, it's a great position to be in. According to a report, Empower Stadium at Mile High may not be fixed before the NFL season starts. Now, they are still advertising events there. In the coming months, we will know more of if it's ready or if it's close to being ready, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens. The Saints signed quarterback Andy Dalton to a 1-year, $6 million contract, $3 million guaranteed. What does this mean for Taysom Hill? Well, he's changing the tight end. Now, this is the problem I have with defensive coaches. They're not very creative in how they should use players. Sean Payton was. Dennis Allen is not. So Taysom Hill's moving the tight end full time. Will they be somewhat creative and have some spots for him? Sure. But it's more of a wait and see what happens. Unfortunate that we're not going to see some Taysom Hill at quarterback, but you never know what could happen in the NFL. In terms of the Andy Dalton deal, 1 year, $4 million, cheap. 1 year, $6 million, cheap contract, $3 million guaranteed, not bad. A typical backup quarterback deal. Makes a lot of sense. The overtime rules have changed. The playing rule, Proposal 1, has been amended in terms both teams will get a possession in overtime. However, it's only in the postseason. I don't understand why this is not a full during the regular season and postseason, but I will say this. I do like that they are trying to change it, and this is a step in the right direction. However, I prefer one of these two. One was on the Rich Eisen show, and another one, if I remember correctly, it was on Twitter. The one on Rich Eisen show, when you flip the coin to see who's kicking or receiving in the first half, when they do the coin flip, and they flip the coin and they say, first off, you want the ball to receive a kick. Whatever that choice is in the first half, or in the actual game, in overtime it would be the same. So if you receive in the first half and kick in the second half, you're going to receive in overtime. If you kick in the first half, if you do the kickoff to start the game, you're going to kick off in overtime. That's, I think, very reasonable. And I think that's also a good strategy. You'll see a lot more teams receive the ball in the first quarter, the first half, to start off the game to try to get that advantage in overtime. Another one was, if you're the home team, you get the ball in overtime. I don't care for that one as much. It's better than what they have now, but I do like the NFL is trying to change. The Ravens, have signed John Harbaugh to a 3-year extension through 2025. Yeah, you want to keep him around, especially since he's had success with Lamar Jackson. It's a good idea. Malcolm Jenkins retires after 13 seasons. Played for the Eagles, won a Super Bowl there. Played for the Saints, won a Super Bowl there. I think this is the perfect time to retire. He does have a sportscasting job in the wings. Why not? The Patriots signed Jabril Peppers to a 1-year contract. An interesting signing. However, they only signed Devin McCourty to a 1-year deal, so maybe this is their changing of the guard. If Jabril Peppers is their new starting safety in 2023. The Bengals, reportedly, are actively looking to build an indoor facility for the indoor practice facility, which is what I've been bugging and what a lot of people have been bugging for the last few years. Build an indoor facility. They finally are doing it now. When Belichick was talking about special teams, he mentioned Matthew Slater, who's multiple-time Pro Bowler, an All-Pro, and a Super Bowl champion with the Patriots. He's still there, heading into his 16th season. He compared him to both Tom Brady and Lawrence Taylor. Now, normally I don't like player comparisons too much. To me, I think player comparisons are strange. We will talk about it a little bit more a little later. But I do care for this one. And if anyone can compare Belichick, because he's seen it firsthand. This is not like we've seen it second, third hand. This is first hand. He knows what this is. So, I think that's quite a compliment in the eyes of Bill Belichick. If he feels you're this good, that you're Tom Brady level or Lawrence Taylor level, that means he admires how you play the NFL game.